This week on Edit Speaks, jaymsjoyce from Instagram asks, one topic I'd love to hear you explore is how to stay passionate about music when external validation like streaming numbers, critical recognition, or serious engagement with the work doesn't always come. How do we stay connected to the internal drive to create even when it feels like the work is going unseen? Well, James, I really empathize with you. I really do. I know how it feels to want to be wanted and recognized in a scene and heard as an artist and as a creative and as a musician. I get that, and I understand where you're coming from. I also just want to preface this by saying that I might be the wrong person to ask for this kind of advice because I'm in the season of life as an artist where I'm making art for art's sake. I'm not seeking external validation from streams or likes. I'm not after a ton of money. I don't care about going viral or whether some hot DJ is playing my tunes or not. I'm creating art because I need to express myself. It's part of my lifeblood. It's the way that I'm wired. It's part of my DNA, and I would be creating even if no one was listening. In fact, on my hard drive, I've got thousands of beats in a folder that no one's ever heard and probably never will hear. You know, those are tunes that I've made purely for the love of creating music. But that's just my experience, and I'm not here to diminish your experience. So hopefully my words can help. For me, I've always just put out the energy of trusting in the universe that my career path as a musician is always going to work out. And I've been so blessed and I'm so grateful because it has. I'm not a millionaire, but in my heart, my soul, my creative spirit, I'm very abundant. I've got everything I need. I'm extremely grateful. And more than anything, I think this is a mindset that constantly needs to be cultivated. I firmly believe that gratitude is one of the most powerful tools that we can use to find validation within ourselves. The fact that you and I get to wake up every single day and make music and create art, that's a gift and not a given. But things weren't always this way for me. You know, at one point in time, when I was a much younger artist, I definitely had more of this swag chip on my shoulder. I was in a phase of life where I was looking for external validation regularly. So here are some things that helped me in my journey to shift my mindset. The author Jillian Turecki has this amazing book. It's called It Begins With You. It's a book about relationships, but the main gist of it is that she says that the quality of the relationships that we have with other people is really going to revolve around the relationship that we have with ourselves, that everything really begins with us. I'm going to paraphrase one of the main ideas in our book, but she essentially says that when we look externally for validation, we are essentially handing the keys of our own happiness over to someone or something else. If we use this as an analogy for the relationship that we have with our craft, if we are constantly seeking validation externally, whether it be through Spotify streams, Instagram likes, going viral, or ticket sales, we are essentially handing the keys of our own happiness as musicians and as artists over to people or external factors that we have no control over. Instead, if we can reframe our mindset towards looking at our creative fulfillment as an inside job, we are going to be more content with our artistry, our craft, and our creations. We have no control over whether people are going to like our songs or appreciate our art. But what we do have control over is our effort, how we show up for our craft, and whether we like and love what we create. And I truly believe that's the most important thing at the end of the day. In Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act, he says the audience comes last. And it's not that he's saying that he doesn't care about the audience at all. He's merely suggesting that we make the music for ourselves first, that we're not making it to get a reaction or a stamp of approval from someone else. We're making art because we have something meaningful to say. And there have been periods in my life where I've tried to figure out what the greater audience wanted to hear, and I've tried to deliver on that. I've tried to conform my own inner artistic voice to satisfy an external audience. And in those times, I felt the least authentic. I felt very disconnected from myself and my truth. It's made me feel ungrounded. And often in those moments, I couldn't recognize the person that I was staring at in the mirror. Those moments didn't really pan out for me in a way where I felt validated externally. And there wasn't any quantifiable metric of success. So I've really abandoned trying to seek validation externally. I've abandoned trying to figure out how to make art that people are going to like. Instead, I look at art as an offering. It's my own creative point of view where I'm saying, hey, this means something to me. This song that I've created, this makes me feel some kind of way. And I want to put this offering out into the universe as a bookmark and a timestamp of where I was at this point in time. Maybe somebody will find it, maybe they won't. And that's okay. It's a piece of me that now exists permanently out in the universe. A small little blip in a moment in time, something that I can be remembered by. A memento that I was here and I said something. And in due time, maybe the right people will find it. Now, James, I don't have all the answers, but I do have some questions that will hopefully encourage you to be more curious about your craft and what it means to you. If you are struggling with not finding validation externally, I would begin to ask the questions of how you can change your mindset so that you can begin to feel validated internally. How can you consistently show up for your creative process and give your very best for you, not for others, even when you think no one's listening? How can you create more than you consume? How can you be less concerned about the outcome of what the music's gonna do for you, and instead ask what you can do for the music and how you can best be in service of the music? I hope these questions get you inspired to look at validation through a different lens. And James, I hope you're able to create from a place that fills your own cup first. Once again, I understand what you're going through and I empathize with you. Let me know how it goes. And for the rest of you, if you made it this far, if you have a thought, an idea, or a question that you would like my perspective on and you think it would resonate with others, please leave it in the comments below and I'll speak on it. Thank you for being here. Have a lovely day.